Good evening. Call to order the meeting for Ypsilanti Police Advisory Commission meeting for Thursday, October 24th, 2024 at 7 p.m. And do roll call? Sure. I can do it. Okay, great. Commissioner Wolkoff. Commissioner Humes.
Present.
Chair Muhammad. Vice Chair McCormick. Commissioner Seafor.
Present.
Commissioner Monroe.
Present.
We have quorum. I would also like to make a motion to excuse the absences for Commissioner Wolkoff and our Chair Muhammad.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We don't really necessarily have it.
Yep. We all have the agenda in front of us. You've had a chance to take a look at it. If there's any amendments or additions, subtractions, otherwise I make a move that we approve the agenda as written.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Approval of the minutes. Unfortunately, we do not have our minutes available to us tonight, so I would like to defer that to our next meeting in November. Do I need to make a motion for that? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, public comment? Yes, I'm sorry.
With the agenda, there's something I would like to bring to YPAC's attention. If any of you have watched our last city council meeting on the 15th, you would know that the resolution centered around downtown safety was tabled. During that discussion, it was brought up that there would like to be input from each of the namely HRC and YPAC towards the resolution that will come thereafter. So if possible, when we get to after public comment, if we could talk about what additions to that resolution that this body would like to see, or if we would like to wait until we have all commissioners in attendance, we can defer that to the November meeting.
No, we can talk about it today.
All right. I think that would have to be a motion, or I don't know. That's just a discussion, really. So
Wouldn't that be under community members'
I
suggestions?
think we should also get the county involved, and they have many resources. So I went to
But we're not ready for the suggestions yet. We're trying to make sure we can get this.
oh yeah, so we can
Agenda.
put that in the discussion items part if
Mhm.
possible.
Definitely.
Cool. All right. And I can take notes and we can go from there, but that's all I have.
Okay. Public comment. Do we have anyone online?
Would anyone online like to speak for public comment? Please raise your hand. I do not see anything, guys.
Okay, moving right along. Section 6. Community member suggestions, concerns, complaints.
If I'm not mistaken, this is something new that pops up on our agenda, but we can go forth with it if you would like. I mean, there's no community members here currently.
Okay. And I myself haven't talked to any community members about any concerns or complaints that they've had as of late, just the same ones that we've been speaking on. Has anyone talked to any community members, neighbors, coworkers in Ypsilanti that have suggestions, concerns, and complaints? All right, Commissioner Seafor.
they don't really have any complaints. They're pretty pleased to see what's going on right now. Most of the ones I talked to, and I went to the Ypsi chat meeting at the Freight House the other night, and it was And it was pretty informative. It's very informative, actually, especially about the homelessness issue and the mental health issue. Uh, that's why was going to suggest earlier to get the county involved. They have more resources. The city just basically cannot afford it. And the county does have all kinds of resources, 3 or 4 different agencies that handle this kind of stuff. So get them on board and try to collaborate with them. And maybe even get the rioters at the last city council meeting to collaborate.
Okay, they have 3 more of those meetings scheduled, don't they?
Yep, they do.
Okay,
The next one, if I'm not mistaken, is November.
11th.
Yes, yes, and that will be at the senior center. If I'm not mistaken, at 6. And then the one thereafter will be at Park Ridge. I would have to get that date for you, but I can have it by the end of the meeting.
That one's in December, I think.
I think so. That sounds about right.
Is there a recording or a replay of those meetings by chance?
I don't believe that they have a hybrid like a Zoom or a recording going. I don't think so.
You should go. Yeah, I missed it, unfortunately.
Any other concerns, complaints, suggestions from what we've heard from our neighbors, community members? You'll have a turn during public comment. Thank you. No problem. No? All right. Thank you so much for your suggestions, and thank you for going to that meeting. I was going to the one
It
in
was,
my
like I
ward.
said, it was very informative.
Very good. Let's move on to 7, where it's discussion items.
Yeah, so like I brought up earlier, with the recent city council meeting on the 15th and the recent discussion around the downtown safety resolution, it has been discussed that there's more involvement that is wanted from our commissions, namely YPAC and HRC. So if any recommendations that you all would like to make now, please do so. If any thought is given after the meeting, please feel free to email me or the author or any council member to get your recommendations or thoughts to the resolution to come when after it's brought back from the table. So have at it.
Has everyone had a chance to look at that resolution? It's been circulating for a while.
Is this 240?
Yes. If anybody does not remember the resolution, I can pull it up and read it if you would like.
Will you please?
I can. Let me just pull it up. Give me 2 seconds. Yes. If you could print it, that'd be beautiful. Thank you. Give me 2 seconds to pull this up, everybody. Of course, there's no link to it. Okay. This is beautiful. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, I can just wait until Lori comes back with the printout because I'm not able to pull it up right now on the computer.
Thank you.
All right, and I'll read it. All right, so this is the resolution from the October the 15th meeting, Resolution 240. Whereas it is in the interest of the entire Ypsilanti community to have a safe and welcoming downtown for all Ypsi residents, business owners, and visitors. And whereas the downtown currently has areas where safety is a significant concern for many of Ypsilanti's residents, visitors, and business owners. And whereas it is appropriate to focus on the safety concerns of the entire community and ensure that we have a thriving downtown. And whereas the effort to concentrate services in the downtown core has had a significant impact on the downtown community as a whole, including impact on public safety and health. And whereas business owners and property owners have an interest in ensuring that the city takes measures to promote a safe and vibrant downtown that serves a diverse clientele. Now therefore be it resolved that the city manager is hereby directed to use all appropriate resources, including police presence, to ensure a safe downtown for all residents, visitors, and business owners. Be it further resolved that these resources shall be used to uphold and respect the civil rights of all residents, visitors, and business owners. So now having that read, this resolution right here that I just read was tabled. So the resolution to come thereafter, after it's brought back from table, is requesting that there is input from our commission. So any input that you all may have, is welcome. The floor is yours.
That was actually a major topic of discussion over at that chat meeting. And there was over 800 police calls in the last year for South Washington alone. It kept the police busy. And most of it was public disturbance and stuff like that.
899, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Almost basically 900. Yeah.
Well, it does it directly affects me, because that's how I come and go right
Mhm.
past there. And even when the Growing Hope and Fed Up ministries are closed, there seems to be significant gathering. There's been fights. There's been public intoxication. I personally have not seen any sex acts, anything like that, but there's fights that spill out into the streets to the point where you can't go past the stop sign because of people fighting in the street. No, to me, it's a major corridor because it's right between the entrance into the city and exit going out. We got 94 coming this way and 94 coming that way. And so a lot of people that want to avoid Michigan Avenue, they're going down South Washington. And it's really not a good look for this beautiful city that I've been a resident of my entire life. So I agree with the city manager doing whatever is necessary to use all appropriate resources. I don't see in any way that this is infringing on anyone's rights because it specifically says respecting the civil rights of all residents, visitors, and business owners. So that incorporates everyone. Commissioner Seifer, any comments?
Oh, I did learn at that chat meeting also that they don't arrest people just because they're homeless. They can't because that's not a crime. You have to have civil disobedience to be arrested. I mean, the fights, stuff like that. And look at the fights the kids are breaking out at the bus station over there. It's pretty bad.
So, help me to understand, is there an opposition to police presence?
Yes.
That's basically what that big thing at the last city council meeting was.
because of fears that people may get arrested that um, may not need to be arrested, or just, I don't,
If you're fighting in the street, something should be done. You're drinking in public, something should be done.
Yeah, so like I was saying, any recommendations that you may have that may not pop up during this meeting, feel free to email me or email your any city council member to have that in the discussion about what goes into or needs to go into the next iteration of this resolution, should it come back from table.
this is what's gonna come back to city council, this particular resolution.
Is currently on table indefinitely, which doesn't necessarily mean that it'll never come back, but it can be brought back, right? So, but in the event that it is brought back, it was requested that input from the commissions be involved in that.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was fairly well written. I like that it mentioned civil rights well.
For all persons.
Yeah, all persons. We have a lot of ordinances on the books that don't seem to be being enforced. And I think just even simple things like maybe having a police car that's not even occupied in that area would probably serve as a deterrent. Just being that there's some presence, but I do have feedback from, so I'm a landlord and I'm also a real estate broker, but I have feedback from some of our tenants. And I found that specifically our female tenants have given me feedback that they don't feel safe in our downtown after dusk. And I would like them to be able to participate, you know, go out to dinner, have a good evening like everyone else. Personally, I haven't had as many problems. I have had issues with the police, or sorry, issues that prompted calling the police. But yeah, I guess overall what I'd like to see is just good, clean police work. You know, I don't want anyone to be targeted, of course, but we do have ordinances on the books for a reason, you know, and I hate to see people afraid of their downtown, and South Washington in particular has a lot of gorgeous homes, and I'd like people to be able to walk up and down there without any fear and be able to just kind of enjoy the architecture, even if we don't own the homes. It's a really cool area to just kind of walk around and check out. So I'm on North Huron, just a block over from Washington. I don't think that Huron sees as many issues, and my guess would be just because it's sort of more of a thoroughfare, that there's more traffic up and down Huron. But I think it was well written, and I understand it's also symbolic, but I think some of those business owners and the employees of those businesses would like, you know, they want to be acknowledged that they're, you know, that they're important, and especially the people working at bars and coming and going at 3-4 in the morning. They need to be comfortable so that the businesses can continue to operate. I think maybe 10 or 15 years ago, there was a lot more businesses on and around Washington that brought out more foot traffic. And I think that would be kind of just more reassuring from a safety standpoint. If we have more people downtown enjoying the downtown, then I think people kind of conveys a sense of safety. But I have spoken to, I spoke to one business owner on North Washington who was assaulted and stabbed before even being able to get his grand opening in his business. And he's still planning to open, but I would like to hear less stories like that. And I think just having some level of presence will probably help with that. There's also some conversation among business owners about hiring private security. I hope that wouldn't be necessary. It's a small town, so you know, we have a local police department, which to a degree hires locally as much as they can, and I think that's valuable. So I would hope that those concerns would be addressed rather than having to look at alternatives.
You mentioned business owners a couple times. I think that business owners should share some responsibility in this as well. You cannot allow this to take place at your place of business or right outside your place of business. And then expect someone else to come and take care of it.
Say that again?
The business owners need to take some responsibility. If you have people loitering outside your business, and you allow it, it just invites more. So if you don't want that to continue, they need to take some responsibility on managing that, either if it's by calling for police services or just letting people know, hey, move it along.
I definitely agree with that. I think part of the issue is I'm not sure if Growing Hope has their location staffed. And I think there's a public or a city-owned parking lot across the street there, which, you know, the city's closed after hours. So I think on some degree, there's sort of that area. It's almost like there isn't someone responsible for it, but I agree with you that someone should be. You know, maybe that parking lot could be sold to some business owner or some building owners nearby, that would make it private so that someone would be responsible for it. But I would agree with that sense that if you're not trying, the business owner could have liability for that. So.
Commissioner Humes, any more comments or suggestions regarding this ordinance? Commissioner Seafood? No. Commissioner Monroe?
That covers it. Thank you.
I actually got one more thing to add to the discussion. Separate from that discussion, I understand that in these recent months we've been filling up our commission. We have now 2 people in Ward 3. We have 3 people in our Ward 2 spots, with exception of the of our chair. And we have 1 for Ward 1. Now, I've received an email application. I forget his last name, but I know his first name, Gary. He sent in his application for potential appointment to YPAC, but he is a Ward 3 resident. So I was wondering, what's all your views on that? Filling up the wards, because I know we have a cap at 7 commissioners and then 2 youth seats. So I guess I would ask you, Kathy, how has that been going with the finding a Ward 1?
I don't know if we should give up on looking for someone from Ward 1, simply because there are a lot of issues in Ward 1 that are of concern. And I remember speaking with a member of council about the Washington Street concerns that I had. And they honestly told me, I come down here, I go to city council meetings, and then I leave. I don't know about this stuff going on. So I think the more people that we had that knows about the stuff going on, it may help drive some results.
Okay. So the search continues. And that's all I had to add. If anybody else has anything they want to say to that, I mean, feel free.
The only piece that I can add to that has to do with the youth members. And I've spoken to counselors at the high school, and they were disappointed that city council said that they don't offer any kind of
Stipend
for students, even though they're working, and or nor do they provide funds for transportation. So having said that, I said I I understand the disappointment, but there may be some students that um, would be really able to attend. And if I'm not mistaken, they could attend via Zoom. They knew, do they not, or do they need to be here in person?
If I'm not mistaken, the youth seats are non-voting,
Right, they're non-voting. We
so
know
they
that.
wouldn't be subject to. Yeah, I don't think they would have to be in. Yeah, I don't think so.
They have
But
to be in person.
I don't think so.
They could do it via Zoom.
If I'm not mistaken, but we can get some more information on that and forward it to y'all.
Okay,
Thank you.
Lori, would you check that out for me, please? And that would be really helpful. That way they could. Thank you.
Okay. Are we ready to move along? All right, next agenda item is public comment.
Hello, Commissioners. My name is Shihab Jackson, resident of that word too. I live on 415 Pearl Street, not far from here at all, so about a block from the bus station. I wanted to bring up a specific incident. On October 1st, this was a Tuesday. There was somebody assaulted me actually right here outside of City Hall, across the street. The person in question is a powerful individual in the community, and I feel like they enjoy a certain amount of celebrity status and political connections. And so I was assaulted outside of City Hall, in front of a crowd of people, including the police and some city council members here. I'd observed initially I didn't want any police involvement in this because I felt that it could have been resolved internally, but as things proceeded, I saw that the gentleman who had assaulted me had then, got on Facebook and made some posts about that, and I feel like I've been like slandered, and the amount of lashback on myself has been in duress has been extreme. So I bring this to y'all attention to ask for some kind of if it's possible to specifically with the Ypsilanti Police Department to get to the bottom of what happened, because I'm having trouble myself figuring out how to go about doing that, right? I myself, here it says on the third note, where is it appropriate to focus on the safety concerns of the entire community and to ensure that we have a thriving downtown, and whereas the effort to concentrate services in downtown core has had a significant impact on the downtown community as a whole, including an impact on public safety and health. I've been materially impacted by public safety and health, yet I feel like, especially as a young Black man that doesn't have the political connections or the celebrity status or I don't enjoy the same privilege that the person that assaulted me does. So I don't know where this issue is going or where the case is going. I know that it seems that they've got a beat on the narrative here. So they've been able to spin this narrative where like I'm some kind of bully that just had it coming, right? And I don't think that's fair or true or accurate. So I would beg of YPAC to perhaps inquire with YPD as to gathering all the evidences or the resource, whatever it needs to get to the bottom of the issue, so that I can, as a citizen of downtown Ypsilanti, as a productive contributor to my community, so we could get to the bottom of this, because I don't feel safe, and I just want to bring that to y'all attention. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Shihab Jackson, Shihab. Thank you.
Hello, commissioners, and council member and staff. So first, I'm glad to see that, city council is asking for input from the commissioners on the resolution 240. That resolution is another version of Resolution 229, which did have more problematic language in it, and that was advised to 240. But at first, 229 said that it's inappropriate to consider a subsection of a population, which I think we all have eyes here. It's mostly Black people, brown people, people in poverty, and people unhoused. So it was inappropriate to refer to them, more appropriate or necessary over the rest of us, which is a little bit problematic in language. So grateful that that was removed. And it was more so like it's appropriate to consider all residents. However, a lot of work to still be done. It must be really nice to leisurely walk up and down the streets for fun and entertainment. For some people, this is survival. And service provision, there needs to be a lot more than actually what's available, but it kind of needs to go beyond that. The city has a lot more work to do with like supporting services, not only being able to fund programs, but also creating or removing barriers in current existing policies. For example, trespass, loitering, these are things that directly target people. And so when you do call 911, as someone who's worked in the jail, you're actually just creating a revolving door. It doesn't do anything. You just pick the person up, they get booked, they get arrested, and then next thing you know, they're released back to the streets. But this time they lost their possessions. And now they're going to have to work twice as hard to try to get back to where they were before they are arrested. So really, you're not helping anything when you do call 911 for things like loitering or trespassing or just people needing to move it along. And where does along exist? For a lot of people. There is not an emergency shelter in the city or in the county. Delana Center has like about a few months of a wait list, so people really don't have anywhere to go safely to congregate. And I know that some people worked really hard to get their resources and their generational wealth, and that's amazing. Do not want to take that away from you. But there are some people who were born with less circumstances and who are unable to create that generational wealth, and creating more problems for them with 911 does not help. So something that this commission could do is put forward a resolution to city council to ask them that the millage money that comes from the public safety and mental health millage actually be better utilized to provide services to people in the downtown area. We have around $525,000 just from last fiscal year from the millage reimbursements that's unaccounted for, and around over $2.4 million came to the city that went to park improvements and other things. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys, Corn, Ypsi Township. Man, it's a whole new commission up here. I feel like when folks from positions of privilege are put in positions of power, a lot of decisions are made that support that privilege. And a lot of the solutions are based in privileged perspectives. And I think, just listening tonight, the suggestions of privatizing one of the only public parking lots that's accessible for folks in the city of Ypsi, and the idea that folks cannot walk down Washington Street. Those are both statements that are made expressly out of privilege. As Chair Layton pointed out, I know plenty of people that walk up and down Washington Street every single day. They are definitely not looking at architecture. They're walking because they got somewhere to go. But they surely are walking up and down Washington Street every single day. I walked up and down Washington Street with a real estate broker who is a white man, who is also privileged. And he shook hands with the folks on Washington Street. He talked with them. He smiled. He did not have a problem. He was not assaulted or stabbed. He did not witness any sex acts. So again, the narratives that are being centered here are those of like a privileged population, and they're being centered around a conversation that really, really impacts a different population. And again, Ypsi being a historically Black city, to now have a police advisory commission that's been co-opted with white privileged individuals I don't think does anything for bridging the relationship between the community and the police, especially not members of the community who are very disproportionately impacted by police violence. So I don't know where you stand as commissioners, but you do have the ability as commissioners to vote people off of your commissions. And I urge you to look into that, as these appointments have been made by the mayor pretty much exclusively, and they do not represent Ypsi's resolution to ensure that racial disparities and equity are centered in all city government. And that resolution was passed unanimously in 2020. So these appointments are a violation of that. You are well within your rights as commissioners to ask to vote both of these gentlemen off. And I was a witness to the assault that the first public comment spoke to. The mayor is aware of it. The city council has been made aware of it. There is an incident number and nothing is being done about it. And I'm curious as to why that might be. Corn, Ypsi Township.
Thank you. Online for public comments. Moving forward with any announcements that we have?
I can give an announcement. This Saturday, right there at Park Ridge, from 3 to 6, there will be a trunk or treat for the kids. If I'm not mistaken, YPD is involved, or a sponsor. Obviously, the city is a sponsor. Organizations like Supreme Felons and many other are sponsors, for that event as well. So 3 to 6, bring your kids out, come get some candy, all types of things like that. Unfortunately, I will not be there because I'm going to be at another event, for breast cancer awareness. So I'll be there in spirit though. So that's all I got for y'all. And our next meeting, for city council is the 12th, if anybody was wondering.
Commissioner Monroe,
I have no announcements.
Commissioner Humes,
No announcements.
Commissioner Seifer. All right. I would just like to acknowledge the cleanup that occurred in the city last weekend, and all those that participated. I mean, kudos. That was awesome. Thank you. Great. Can I make a move that we adjourn our meeting at 7:39?
Second.
We need a
All
second.
in favor?
Aye.
Oh.
Here you go. That's